Well, good morning, everyone. It's time again for our MSL Learn webinar series. And so today we're going to be talking about the MSL Learn online course platform. Actually, this is a change in our schedule. We're shifting the policy session that was scheduled for this time originally to October. So for those of you who are expecting that, and we'll be picking that up in October. But thanks for being with us, and our recording is on its way. So, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit more about MSL Learn, and kind of for those of you, and we have a poll here for those who are live with us today. 2 out of 2 participants have indicated that they have taken an MSL Learn course. But we wanted to just take a few minutes today to show and tell a little bit about where we've come since January when the platform first opened up. So the courses that are available, accessing and choosing courses. We have a director's path that will be part of a series that you will get a special badge that will show up in your profile when you complete that series of courses. And then also just to really clarify and show how to claim credits for these MSL Learn courses in Aspen. So that's kind of the trajectory that we're on for this morning. I wanted to just see if there were any questions now, or just encourage you to add those to the chat, Karen, or just unmute yourself if you like. With that, I'm going to proceed on to focusing this from the perspective of solving our continuing education puzzle. And the credit for this graphic and this information goes to my colleague, Bobby DeMontney, who is on with us this morning. And we've had a lot of questions about, where do I find continuing education? How do I earn it? How do I record it? And so we really are using those questions and that focus to help uncover these pieces of the puzzle and show you what the state library has to offer in terms of being able to discover opportunities and then actually earn credits. So MSL Learn is an important part of that. It's our online learning platform. We opened it up, launched it back in January of 2023. We started with 1 course, and we're now up to 10 active courses that are available. So just wanted to kind of show a little bit more about that today. Access is really important. And so just knowing that you can access MSL Learn with the same credentials that you use to access Aspen. So you can log in with those Okta credentials to enroll in courses. And then after that, and I'll show you how this looks in a live demonstration, then you can claim credits in Aspen. The other thing I wanted to note, and that's the first bullet here, is that we've actually enabled guest access. So if you're not sure about online learning, or if online courses are really something that are for you, you can go to this site, and then you can use that guest access option to preview the contents of courses. And we thought that was an important thing to be able to offer, because like I said, online learning, while I absolutely love to take online classes, I love to create online classes, I love to share that sort of opportunity with people, it isn't necessarily for everyone. So the guest access allows you to see the content and actually learn from it. But then you don't have to complete the assignments or the activities that are embedded in the online courses. I'm going to say that again, when you have guest access to MSL Learn, you can see the content, but you can't earn credit with guest access. You have to actually complete the course activities, and that does require that login to the system. So I just want to check and make sure that that makes sense. If you want to give me a thumbs up or a speak up and say, that doesn't make sense, please share that thought with me right now.
I think that makes sense.
All right. Excellent. Okay, so access is important, and I'm going to show you what this looks like in real time here in just a moment. So using those Okta credentials is how you log in, enroll in courses, and then when you complete courses, that's when you can get the credit in Aspen. So the courses themselves are organized into the 4 categories that we have for our continuing education and certification program. Right now, there are courses in library administration, library services to the public, and technology. We have some ideas and some things in the works for collection management and technical services, but we're not quite there yet. And so when you would come back to this site, eventually you'll see a 4th blue box that represents courses in that category. So when you come to the MSL Learn homepage, this is just a snip of that page. You'll see the 4 or the 3 categories that we have courses in represented in the blue boxes. You just click on those and then it expands the list of courses that are available in each of those categories. I mentioned that there's a director's path. So there are individual courses and you can take any individual course, but one of the things that we learned since January too is that people have questions about, what are kind of the essentials about Montana libraries and about Montana library laws and governance and finance and those sorts of things. Like, what are the essential pieces of information that especially a new director should have? And so this series of 5 courses is what that initial path looks like. And so whether you are a new director or you're someone who aspires to be a director or a trustee, if you take these 5 courses, it's really going to get to the heart of what is unique about both the state library and how Montana public libraries are governed, financed, and kind of the responsibilities of the job. The 5th course is about Aspen, how to manage information, how to access it, and that course was developed by Bobby DeMontney, who's with me here this morning. So that kind of is the heart of what we feel is important for a new director in particular to have. And then there is a really, really cool badge that you are awarded once you complete that series of 5 courses. Each of the courses has its own badge that you earn when you complete it, but that series has its own unique badge, and that I'll show you what that looks like, or what that might look like in your profile. So this is something that we put in place about a month and a half or so ago, and we have a number of people who have already earned that new director badge. So if they took the whole series of courses, and the reactions and the kind of the feedback we've gotten is that it really ticked the box about the kind of the essential information for somebody who is a new director or, like I said, is an aspiring director or is a trustee. It really helps them understand their job. Okay, so those were kind of the 3 main areas that I wanted to talk about. Now I want to actually show you a bit about this. So we're actually going to start with MSL Learn. This is the home page, and we can, Bobby, would you like to drop that link in the chat? If you wouldn't mind, that would be lovely.
Sure, just a moment.
So this is the home page, and I am logged in as a regular user. So what you're seeing on the screen is what you would see if you used your Okta credential and logged into the site. Up on the right-hand corner, where you see a face, that's where you know that you're logged in. If the option is to log out, then you know that you're logged in. You can add information to your profile, including a picture. That's not necessary, but there are a couple of things that you can add to your profile that will actually generate a badge. And like I said, I'm already logged in here, so you see the badges that I've earned. I took the Hacking Aspen course, I've taken the MSL Learn Greater State of Knowledge course, and then I've completed my profile. Completing your profile asks you to add 2 pieces of information: your city location and your institution, so the name of your library. And once you add that basic information to your profile, then you would get this profile complete badge. That's usually the first badge that somebody earns. So that being said, there's a little bit more information about how to log into MSL Learn in the drop downs, about the courses, talks about self-enrollment, self-paced, and then completion certificates and digital badges are available. So I've mentioned the badges a couple of times. The badges are something that you could add to a LinkedIn profile, or if you already have something like a Badger backpack or a credentialing backpack, those are digital files that can be added to show the types of professional development or continuing education that you've engaged in, and prospective employers or others. It's just a way to share those accomplishments. And there's a little bit more about that here, including a video about how to update your profile, like I mentioned, and then just the very brief instructions about logging into Aspen to claim credits for courses that you complete. As I move down the page, as I mentioned earlier, we have courses in 3 different categories right now, and I'll click into those and show you what it looks like to enroll in the course. The other thing that we have is a site glossary. So there are terms sometimes that are professional terms of art that we use, or terms that are specific to the Montana library community. Acronyms, you'll see those things scattered throughout the courses and so we have a quick glossary that gives definitions and some examples for kind of a general set of terms that we use in the Montana library community. So with that, I'm just going to pause and see if there are any questions about what we've seen so far. All right, I think we're good to go. Let's look at the courses in the library administration category. So if I click on library administration, we'll see a list of courses, and you'll see a little padlock next to some of these. That means that there's guest access, as I mentioned, that allows you to look at the contents of the course, but you can't actually complete it unless you're logged in and enrolled in the course. So Montana State Library Greater State of Knowledge is an overview of the state library and all of its services. It's something that we recommend for anybody to take. It's a great general course, and it really gives you information that puts public libraries in the context of the greater services of the state library. Then the next courses are in this trustee essentials or new directors track. So there's one focused on responsibilities. There's one focused on understanding local government. And then this next one is local government budgeting and finance. So if I want to enroll in a course, you'll see an icon, a little arrow with a box. The pop-up says self-enrollment. So if I want to take that course, if I want to enroll in it, it's about 1 hour. I'm going to get 1 credit in library administration. All I do is click on that title, and I am enrolled in the course. At this point, it is all of these courses are self-paced. So set aside the time on your calendar, on your schedule, to work your way through the different components of the courses. What you'll notice about all of the courses is that there's a welcome with information about how to navigate the course and what the expectations are, what you're going to learn. That always appears in the course navigation that is on the left side of your screen. If you don't see it, it's probably closed, and you'll see this little dotted hamburger and you just click on that to open that back up. This is an outline of all of the sections of the course. So the main topic areas, and then activities that are contained in each of those topic areas. The other thing that you'll see is a course support block on the right-hand side. So Tracy Cook, our lead statewide consulting librarian, created this course. And so her contact information is here if you have information about any of the contents of the course or just want to get in touch with Tracy. We also have a help button. So this will open up a ticket in our help desk system. And this is really just for technical issues. So if there is an activity that doesn't seem to work correctly, or you get stuck in a course, that's a technical issue usually. And so if you just click help, that will generate a ticket. And we'll be able to resolve any sort of technical navigation type issues or account type issues that you might have. Again, just kind of in general, as you look at this course, there are different sections. The first section of content for this one is your library and local government. There is an activity to view, and you'll see on the right-hand side of each of these boxes, it tells you what you're going to have to do in order to complete that course or that part of the course. So this one, you need to view it. So I would click on understanding governance structure and work through the pages of that particular activity. This next section is a little different. You need to view it, and it asks you to add a piece of information. So this is just an example of a type of activity that you're required to complete in order to kind of have a reflection or be able to show or think about and show what you might have learned from the content in each section. As you go through each course, it kind of walks you through. You can always navigate from this course index on the left-hand side. Some of the other activity types are like a quiz, like this knowledge check is a quiz. And as you go through different courses, they might have some different activities. But in a nutshell, that's how you would enroll in a course and then start working through it. If I go back to the home, that takes me back to this homepage where I could click on another category to enroll in another course. I'll just, for example, we'll take a look at technology. Here's the Hacking Aspen course. Could enroll in that. That one's 2 hours or 2 credits. We have a course on Montana Library to Go. We're in the last couple of weeks of this summer Intro to Microsoft Excel Tech cohort. That's a little bit different course, but something that we're doing again later in the winter to help a group of people learn about Excel in particular. So that, again, is just a reminder how to browse. I can use the breadcrumbs to go back to the course list, go back to home, or any course that you have clicked to enroll in will appear in the My Courses tab. All right, I'm going to go back to home. As I mentioned, there are kind of 2 parts to this. You would enroll in a course, take the course, complete it. For all of the courses, you have the option to download a certificate, which is great. It's just kind of a symbol. You have the badges that show up in your profile, but there is another step. And so one of the things that I wanted to just quickly demonstrate also in the time that we have, I completed a number of courses, and then what I have to do is actually go to Aspen. So I have logged into Aspen already, and if I'm gonna actually, I'll go back to the home page. I'm logged in. I know that because it has my name. It says welcome. It recognizes me. And I'm going to go to the continuing education tile. And one of the courses that just became available, I'll be able to demonstrate this with, is a youth services course on early for school-aged children. So youth services for school-aged children. Amelia Kim is the person who is in charge of those courses. And so we have a series now of 3 courses in youth services that you could take. So I'm logged in as myself. I want to claim the credit for completing that course. So when we scroll down the page past editing, continuing education, and adding independent learning events, all of the MSL Learn online courses are listed by the date they were opened and then the name of the course. So I could claim credit right now for our session that we're doing right now that appears by date, but I do need to click on the drop-down list. And I know that the youth services school age course opened on September 1st. So here is September 1st and the name of the course, MSL Learn online course, youth services school age. When I've completed that, I can click on it, hit go. I want to save. And then I might cut this out. This is just for me, basically. And then when I go back to the continuing education control panel, and I can scroll that courses in library services to the public. And so the MSL Learn online course is here by date. Remember, it opened on September 1st. It says pending. That's okay. At the end of each month, I go through all of the courses and I verify the completion of each of the courses for the people who complete during that month. So that MSL Learn online course shows up now in my Aspen continuing education record. So I just want to make this really clear, completing the online courses in MSL Learn is one step, and then actually getting the credit or entering the credit in Aspen is that second step. So 2 steps. We're kind of working on a future way to streamline that a little bit, but for now, you can complete the courses and then come to Aspen and claim those credits to add them to your certification record, or if you just use Aspen to track the record of your continuing education, it'll show up in that list of things that you've taken. So let's see here. I wanted to just see if there are any questions now. We're kind of running into the latter part of our time together today.
I don't have a,
Okay.
but I did want to mention that you were talking about that Excel course, and there's going to be another one coming up.
Yes.
Keep an eye out on Wired and in our newsletters, and you should see that opportunity in there when it's available for you guys to enroll.
Excellent. Yeah, no, we've been really excited. We ran a cohort for Word last spring. And then we have this one for Excel going on in the summer, and people have really enjoyed that. They get to use well, Bobby, do you want to talk about where we get the course content really, really quick?
Yeah, sure. So part of our contract with Montana Library to Go includes an extra, and that extra is called Universal Class. In those classes, you can take all sorts of different topics, like there's Excel, there's Word, there's different Office topics, and then there's all sorts of other more entertaining ones like dog training and such, but that's not really something that we're going to do here. And the ones that apply to basic computer skills lend themselves very, very well to what we're doing with MSL Learn and what we're trying to do for our libraries and such. So if you enroll in one of those courses, everyone who enrolls can be a cohort together and talk to each other in the message boards, but then they go through the steps through Universal Class to take the actual course content on very universal things like that Excel, like Word, like basic computers, things like that. So right now we've done Word and we've done Excel, but there are conversations about other ones we might tap into in the future.
Thank you. Yeah, and Bobby did an overview about how to access Universal Class that's in the playlists in our YouTube channel in the Tiny Tech series that we have. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, subscribe our YouTube channel, and you'll see that recording there, which of course you can also get a half a CE credit for watching that video. So the recording for this session is going to be posted to our YouTube channel a little bit later today. And I did want to mention the next session that's coming up is Tiny Tech on September 26th. Bobby will be talking about the OCLC group services and patron interface. So mark your calendars for that. We have that upcoming. And then I mentioned earlier our October second Tuesday session is going to be about policy development. So stay tuned for that. You can register for that in Aspen as well. As always, we love to have your feedback. And so if you wouldn't mind filling out our evaluation survey, that helps us know how we're doing. I'll drop the link in the chat here. And with that, if you have any questions or any thoughts, please get in touch with me. I'm Colet Bartow, our continuing education coordinator here at the State Library, and I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.